it is your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. And we're zooming in and focusing in on a very important topic or segue to really getting in touch with your own, coming into your power, coming into your personal realization, and really kind of coming into the quantum field of healing when it comes to moving through successfully through a relationship with a narcissist who it tends to pine at you relentlessly, and maybe it's been a couple of years you've been working on this. Maybe this is just something you've discovered, and you're new on your path. You're new on creating the tools. It is wherever you're at. I'm going to be providing you some very, very powerful information here in this video. And before we get started, I want to give a huge shout out to those of you who have recently donated to the channel. We have a very lovely viewer in Germany. It is such an honor and a privilege to be able to serve you and to help you and provide a resource of tools, knowledge, and understanding, and really a clarity of vision moving forward where you really feel that you have got it, that you are whole, that you have a processing and understanding of what has gone on, and you're no longer continually in that same mindset, that same lifestyle. And it's a huge honor and privilege, so thank you so much for your generous donation. Love you, and I hope you continue to thrive. We also have a couple other viewers who have made a donation. Thank you so much. If I have been a life changer for you, please feel free to go to the home page of the channel here and donate. It's just a little unobscure button where you can donate to the channel whatever you want. We have another very loyal viewer who's donated time and time again. It is such an honor and a privilege to provide a thread of healing and content in realization. So that is really the goal, is to provide you some further breakthroughs. And that is really what I want to guide you here in today. Because oftentimes what we find in relationships that that a narcissist has become tainted an individual with. In other words, it's their mindset. It is their intimidation. It is their bullying. It's the fog that creates the pain in your mindset, kind of not only when you're with them, but really you tend to carry this out into pervasive thoughts, emotions, moods, temperaments, and then over time, repeated, if that's reaffirmed by you, these negative experiences, and then setting up this blueprint of pain, which then, creates anger and resentment and guilt and distrust, and then a lot of uncertainty. It creates a pervasive mood, which over time, it becomes your personal reality, and then your reality, your personality, your identity, and then you start to feel like this is enough. I am not happy. I need to get this sorted out, and I need to clear my thinking. And so what I definitely recommend in their tools here is, positive, orderly direction thinking. And when we talk about that, it's very much like taking control over your cognitions, your thoughts, which tend to be repeated day to day to day. Most people, they brush their teeth the same way, they shower the same way, they cut their food the same way, they make their bed the same way, they drive to work the same way, they use their posture the same way. It's just part of the subconscious. And, your heart beating, your lungs, that's all part of it. But your thoughts, we have 70 to 90,000 thoughts a day. And oftentimes those are the same thoughts. And if you continue to say to yourself, I feel so depleted, I feel so isolated, I feel so angry, I feel so hindered, I feel so depersonalized. You're not only, let's take a look at the cognitions, because there's some very important information I want you to get a really good grasp of, and get a grasp of it right now. When you have this sort of negative orderly direction thinking, what I call it NOD thinking, it just sets you into a perpetual spiral of unhappiness, feeling left out, feeling excluded, feeling like life isn't exciting, you're not in touch with your passion, you're not, with what's going on in life, you're feeling like resourceless, you don't know where to turn. All this is a result of negative orderly direction thinking, oftentimes which is set in place by these harmful narcissistic or psychopathic relationships, where they have taken advantage of a hierarchy. In other words, it could be a birth order, it could be a family member, it could be a spouse. Man is stronger than woman. Whatever whatever their, whatever their assumption is, it then creates assumption for you in your life. So you then begin to forecast this negative experiences for yourself, and you're looking at, look how I stubbed my toe, look how I stubbed my toe, and then next thing you know, you stub your toe. So you're giving yourself commands. So you really need to look and understand how this is a block in your life, and you can change it, and you are going to change it if you follow these steps. And if you're serious about your recovery, if you're just, like, well, I probably need to do this, you need to say, what, this is what I want, and I'm going to get there. And God's quietude is not his unanswered prayer. So you need to stay with this program long enough. It might be a couple weeks, it might be just today that you make your breakthrough, and that's the goal, but it can take time. But I want to ask you this, because oftentimes these assessments of yourself are a cause of negative orderly direction thinking. So I want to help you to get beyond that completely and break through 100%. So for example, if you are feeling stuck in your life, if you're feeling, just like you can't move, you're feeling immobilized, exhausted, depleted, nothing turns you on or excites you about life anymore. You feel just like you don't have the money, you don't have the job, you don't have the people, you feel stuck. You need to ask yourself, what can I do today to give my life more flow? What can I do today to give my life more flow? And I want you to answer that for yourself individually. And chances are these are things that you have been putting off. You have been leaving like a pile of emotion right in front of you that is causing you to stay immobilized. And so what can you do today to put more flow in your life? Can you clean out your garage? Can you clean out your basement? Can you clean out your attic? Can you clean out one drawer? Can you get rid of some of the stuff that no longer energizes you or makes you, tends to just be drab? Clear the space out. Get rid of those things that remind you of this narcissist. And so ask yourself that, what can I do to give my life more flow today? And you need to drink more water, eat healthy, clean out your cabinets, go for a walk, go for a swim, go for a barefoot earthing, take a power nap with, incense. How can you bring more flow to your consciousness and flow to your body? You have the answers, but you need to ask new questions to get there. And for example, if your issue is, I'm feeling so isolated. I'm feeling so isolated, I'm feeling so alone. That's probably the most common issue that I hear here on the channel, is that people feel so kind of disconnected or lonely, and it's because of the meaning that they're assigning to this stage in their life. And when you're feeling isolated or lonely, it's because really there's something that you need to change. It can be something large, but it's not insurmountable. It can be just that you're in the wrong place. Your life is requesting you to take some positive action, some positive orderly direction thinking, and get the flow in. And to get out of that isolation, you need to ask yourself, what can I do today to feel more with it? What can I do today to feel more connected? What can I do today to feel more alive? What can I do today to feel more harmony with others and have trust and love exchanged with others? What can I do today to bring others into my life so that I don't feel so isolated? What can I do today to move my life into the better place where things really begin to function? And if you're so lonely, maybe also use the tool of cognitive reframing to ask yourself, maybe, are you just liberated? Are you free? Are you learning the lessons? And are you stronger now? And are you individuating? So rather than saying, I'm so depleted and I'm so lonely, what can I do to feel more empowered today? In other words, what are something you can do for yourself where you're giving yourself self-care? And I talk about resensitizing yourself, but that really gets you to more where you're kind of feeling with it. And it can go slow. It can go slow. It doesn't have to be, what can I do for 8 hours? It's what can you do for 2 hours, 1 hour, half an hour, whatever it is you can tolerate to get yourself energized there. And then how can you then give yourself the validation, like, good job, you are on the right path. Give yourself a little bit of a rest, a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a reward. Get yourself a coffee, a Coke, have a glass of wine, something that just kind of gets you repercolating again. And then, so furthermore, when this occurs, I want you to understand that sometimes when you're feeling these really serious misplaced thoughts, maybe that is a sign from the universe, a sign from the Creator, who's trying to answer your prayers, who's trying to help you deliver to you the answer to your prayers, to feel more alive, happier, fulfilled, to have that certainty within that no matter what in the world of change going on, this is going on, that going on, who's the president, who's the vice, who's the whatever, there's going to be all this change going on, and more than ever. So you need to understand that connection of certainty and trust and fulfillment, you have to turn to it someplace, and that someplace is within yourself. And a lot of people have lost that connection, but it's asking these proper questions on the flip side so you can begin to not only direct your thoughts, positive, orderly direction thinking, what I call pod thinking, but also how do you get, then into the physical, what do I need to do this? Is it something, do I need to move? I mean, when people are feeling isolated, when they're feeling disconnected, oftentimes they're in a place where they should no longer belong, and they need to actually move. They need to make some changes and find out, and then ask yourself, where would I like to live where I would feel more connected? Where can I live that I would feel more comfortable? Where can I live that would be a better fit for me? Or what kind of routine can I do that's a better fit for me so I don't feel depleted? What can I do positively to energize myself? And then lastly here, this is a big one because I get a lot of people who say that they don't have enough money, that because of the, abuse, and then the whole negative mindset, and then distrust, and the uncertainty, and then the paralyzing fear and self-recrimination, self-doubt is like really taking a stranglehold on them. So, if you have then impacted your job. So then I want you to ask yourself today, what can I do to earn some money? Where can I go to apply for a job? Where in the neighborhood could I go to earn an income? A temporary employment, someplace at a local retailer, an entry level, find and select 5 to 10 places where you can go and then make money. A lot of people are really stuck, and they feel like that they don't, have any skills, or they're really kind of in a stranglehold. That is negative orderly direction thinking. You are telling yourself that based on the projection, and that is not the case. So it's kind of like the old pick yourself up from the bootstraps and say, you know what, maybe it would be a little bit of fun to start some employment. Maybe it would be a little bit of fun to keep a new routine. Maybe it would be a little fun to learn a new skill. See what's available at your local library or your local hospital. They have a lot of free workshops. Getting around a group where you feel safe and you can feel that you can explore, and then explore your gifts, but furthermore turn that into something where then you can become gainfully employed. If it's in tough area, well then you might need to move. There's all sorts of places that need people. But it's just, can you go and walk and shake hands and meet people? What can you do? What are your interests that you could cultivate in this job, as well as the relationships that you will make that will then help you to feel connected. And little by little, you'll begin to feel that your life is fulfilled and you have that regenerative space and that regenerative spirit. So I encourage you to ask yourself these questions and to take action immediately. It is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.